you're not going to move everybody. Not everybody's gonna be like, oh, take that challenge and go do it. But it is nice to have that community around you to say, hey, like, keep killing it, bro.
We rise to the top, can't stop this flow. In the heart of the jungle, we're ready, let's go. In the heart of the jungle, we're ready.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Round Table here with Ben. What's going on, man?
What's going on, brother?
Hitting back to back since I'm going out of town.
Yeah, dude. Is it next week, right?
We leave Friday.
Jeez. You guys are going to have a blast.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm excited for
It's
you
going to be
guys
a
too, man.
crazy week, but in the way that's needed.
Yeah,
You got to be crazy to get stuff done.
yeah. You got to take risks too, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
money kind of leaves the account or whatever. You're like, ooh, but then you'll make it back.
Yeah.
It'll be back in however method that you choose. Like, and you're gonna make a memory for your in-laws and your kids, and we don't know how long those relationships were there for, and you just take advantage of when you had them. And I look at the Moab trip too, and I was looking at the pictures the other day. I was like, damn, that was a cool trip, and
It was fun.
the girls remember that, and
They still talk about it.
Yeah, so
Of course, they talk about me getting pulled over more than anything, but
that's hilarious. Yeah, but it's a memory.
But I'm like, you know what? Speaking of what we're going to get into, I'm like, but let me ask you, and the kids, every time they're like, do you remember when Dad got us pulled over? I'm like, but didn't you get something out of it? I guess we did get glow sticks. I'm like, okay, so it's not always a bad thing, right?
Mm.
He was not after a bad situation. He just wanted to advise me to slow down. That was all. And it worked out for you guys. You guys got glow sticks out of the deal.
Yeah.
So not everything that is bad ends up bad.
Yeah.
It's a weird way to put it, but I mean, it's kind of, yeah. But not everything that ends up that way is bad. He could have wrote me a ticket, and that's
He could
fine.
have fucked the whole trip up for sure.
I mean, at the
It
end
would have been a sour feeling.
I mean, at the end of the day, I understand what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like and being somebody that's grown a lot, I fully accept what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I knew what I was doing. I knew what I was doing could potentially get me in trouble, but it's just the way I drive. And I know that, and I fully accept that. And when it happens, if it happens, oh well.
You pay it, it'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. I move on.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we started talking about community because we have been growing more slowly, individually, and our page.
Yeah.
And you had shared something, and kind of a guy that has inspired a lot of people and us. Andy Frisella ended up
Definitely
reposting it and resharing it. And not only was my phone blowing up, but that's just on the little bit that was coming through because I was tagged in some of it through the round table.
yeah.
I can only imagine how yours was.
Yeah.
And we were talking about community.
Yeah, man. I mean, Andy did change. I mean, he changed my life. I could say that him and Goggins were probably the two biggest influences in during the COVID times and when the whole start of the whole journey. So yeah, I mean, and I text you after the fact, or we were texting back and forth, and I was like, yeah, man, like literally a week before, and I could show you the book. I got it upstairs. It talks about connecting connections and stuff like that. And one of the top person in that was Andy Frisella. And this is by no means meaning that that's gonna, this is my interaction, this is my connection, but I am fully, putting it out there that we're gonna get to a point where we can be in a circle and, go work out at First Forum, and you get to meet my wife and my kid, and meet his wife and his brother, and some of the big, Chad at that he is a athletic pro for him now, and you just. I'm putting that out there because I know that that's going to happen. I know we'll sit down with him one day and I could share the story of how
We've already met him once.
But actually have an actual sit down.
Actually be able to converse
him know
with
us, I guess is what I'm saying. We know of him, but a main connection to me and adding value to him is him knowing who we are and how we're going to be able to help him and help his story and his brand and the things that he puts out, his standards, and how we can help him do that better. That's what I'm putting out there, and so that when that all started happening, when I saw, it pop up on Instagram, because we tag people all the time, and you're like, oh, at least they'll see it and cool. That's all that's what I do it for, is for them to see like, hey, like you've inspired or moved me in a certain way that I'm doing this. That's really all it was.
Well, and part of our goal is to inspire somebody. And some of those tags, they might go and start looking into that person, whether it's us, them, or not, and find inspiration. And the goal, and obviously the hope, is that it always comes back to them being like, hey, I remember when you shared this.
Yeah.
It got me in line with this, and, my life is exponentially better because of you taking the time to tag that person. It doesn't matter. I mean, we're small fish in a big pond, but
right now, yeah.
Yeah, right now. Right now we are, but inspiration throughout the community is what we're really pushing for, at least.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the vision that we have come up with, that I understand.
Yeah. Agree 100%. And but yeah, so I shared that, man, and I started getting, a bunch of comments and stuff like that. And it got me thinking. I was like, damn, dude, like one person, because it started with him, right? He's shared his journey, and his journey inspired other journeys and stuff like that. But then you see the community that comes behind them. They're like, oh man, keep killing it. You're awesome, bro. Whatever it might be. And you're like, damn, like this is what it's supposed to be like.
Yeah.
These are the communities and the rooms that I want to be in, right? I don't want to be around, and no shot to anybody that's around our circle right now, but you'll hear certain things like, oh, you're not eating that. Oh, you're going to go to the gym this morning. Oh, why you got to go? Why you got to wake up? Why you got to do the plunge? Why do you do that all the time? Isn't it?
I mean,
it just solidifies that a rising tide lifts all boats, but you have to be around the right tide. You know what I mean?
You even inspired me. My wife and I finished the workout. She went and did some walking, and the EOS I go to has a backyard, which, if you guys don't know what that is, it's it's caged in, so people can't just walk in there and steal weights, and there still is a roof over your head. So me personally, I'm like, through my 75 hard mindset, I'm like, that's not outdoors. But there was snow on the ground. The weights were cold. The bar was fucking cold. I could see my breath. I mean, like I said, snow under my feet. My bench moved a little bit when I was trying it, but I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go a little bit out of my element here, and I'm going to go out there and do a few workouts out there.
Yeah.
And then I went home, and I went and did a quick 20-minute walk outside, just to kind of help drain my mind from anything that may have been on it.
Yeah.
It wasn't much. It was windy. It was cold. It wasn't snowing like it was for you, but he inspired me to do that.
Yeah.
And hopefully that's,
yeah.
I mean, that was your whole point of it.
That's the whole point. Yeah. I think sometimes people are like, and I've heard this, like,
He's
like
flexing.
you're just doing it because you're trying to show off that you did, but it's like, nah, man, like I really just, I even did a live. I was doing a live right before that. I posted that video, and Luis jumped on, and my cousin from Mexico, and Lance and all that, and I told Luis, I was like, man, go get it. What do you got for the rest of the day?
Guess what he did?
Oh no, man, I was like, go get the gym, bro. And I'm sure he was planning to already, but he's like, no, man, you're right. I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna go to the gym. And then he posted and he tagged us, and I was like, all right. But it's like those little things that I don't do it to, like, other than the fact that you could be like, oh fuck, if he's out doing it, shit, I'm gonna go hit it too. Fuck it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And back to your point, like, yeah, I mean, if you've ever grabbed the fucking weight that's even from down here, and it's
cold.
It's the heat, whatever. It's pretty warm in here, but from outside, I can only fucking imagine. It was
cold.
That shit is cold as hell.
It was cold. I mean, like I said, snow.
Yeah, that's
It
crazy.
was cold. The wind was blowing through.
That's
It was
wild.
cold.
Yeah.
I'm not dressed for the winter. I'm in a sport hoodie, a tank top,
Yeah.
or I might have been in a t-shirt. I don't know, but still, and then gym shorts.
Yeah.
I mean, in some not cheap Vans.
I was gonna say, man, Vans.
They're not cheap. I mean, they are on the lower end of what they are, but there's not insulation among all of that.
Yeah, you're not wearing fucking snow boots. Yeah.
No, I wasn't out there dressed for that weather,
Yeah.
but it felt good to be out there.
Yeah. And it just got me thinking, man. I was like, you have to surround yourself with winners.
You do.
You gotta surround yourself with people, get in the communities that are willing to say, like, that's normal. Like, I fuck with you for that. Because it just inspires you to keep doing other things, and you inspire somebody else to do something else. And they might, you might not get everybody. A lot of people saw the post, but not a lot of people, what compared to who saw it and who interacted with it, just goes to show you, like, you're not gonna move everybody. You're not gonna. Not everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, take that challenge and go do it." But it is nice to have that community around you to say, "Hey, like, keep killing it, bro." Like, I started following a bunch of other people, and I have to show you who they are. But I mean, these guys are doing crazy shit. They're building what we've been talking about.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and to me, I'm thinking, like, that's the community I want to be around, because they can show me this is what we want to do in our community. So they're going to show us how to do those things, how to build those communities, how to build the brotherhood. And so it was crazy, man. And it was good to be around winners. It's always good to be around you guys. It's good to be around people that are actually striving to do.
Saying we're not winners?
Huh?
Damn.
I said it's good to be around you guys.
I'm just fucking with you.
You guys are winners. It's always good to have that, and be around those people that are always going to push you to the next level. I was going to text you too. I was like, hey, bring your shorts, man. You're going to do the cold plunge when you get here.
I thought about it, honestly. I really did. When you were filling it up, I was like,
I was going to text you too, but I was like, you know what? We're going to go to dinner. He's going to be all juiced up. But yeah, man, it was a good feeling, not because of, the interactions it got. It just made me think, like, that's what we're trying to build. That's what Andy's built. Those are his people, right? But that's what I'm looking forward to, is having that community where they can, be there for you and be like, hey, look, man, like, keep fucking killing it. Keep doing this stupid, crazy shit. Then most people are going to look at it and be like, what is this person doing?
You know what I find the most amazing about, like, the community is he has guys, I'm still talking about Andy Frisella here. He has guys that have all been like, if you've got questions, dude, just reach out. Mm-hmm. And I might not hear from them for a week or two, but these are people with pretty good followings. I just thought about this because I'd messaged one of them. I've been messaging back and forth here and there randomly with one of them for a while. And, I'd messaged him probably 2 weeks ago and was like, eventually I want to get some new boots. Like, what's your favorite boot? Because he's had been posting, he was boot shopping and stuff and all this. And he'd sent me a video, and I didn't notice it until on our way here. So I haven't listened to what he said, but this is somebody that doesn't need to respond to me is what I'm getting at. But I'm building this, again, I'm putting good energy out there, and we're building this community of people that want to win, and they're part of that community that wants to win.
Right.
And so it's a lot easier. I guess what I'm getting at is it feels easier for these people to reach out and be like, hey, I can see he's winning. Plus, that's it's something in the back of their head, it's, oh, this guy's reaching out asking this or that. Like, and it's something in the back of my head that I'm like, okay, I don't need to do this or need to respond to you, but it helps everybody involved. Right. I'm learning something from you. You might get a little bit out of me. And that's all I'm looking for.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just trying to be, at least for me, I'm trying to be a sponge.
Yeah.
I'm trying to soak up anything they can, because they got the, some of the results and some of the lifestyles, some of the community that we're wanting to do.
Yeah, we wanted to emulate.
And, like I said, the biggest thing was just seeing it come through. I was like, damn, this is what people miss a lot of times. And I'm not saying that it's everything, but that was like, to me, because we are in that space, we're trying to build that community.
You notice it way more.
I was like, fuck, man, like, this is what we want. This is what we need. This is what people are searching for. And if not, it's not even has to be through social media. It's just in person, right? Like, hey, man, you're fucking killing it. I'm calling you like, hey, bro, hey, man, keep killing it. Keep doing this. Whatever it might be, text, whatever. We do that shit all the time. But it's just cool, man. It was super cool. And I just thought it was a good topic to quickly hit on, because I was like, it's always feels better to be around winners when you're doing crazy shit, or just take a steps to move your life in the right direction. You need those people around you to just help you build that community, that make you feel normalized, that you're not out here being a psychotic person. And, Taylor's like, when the hell did you do that? And I was like, well, you were on your way. And I was like, I ain't got shit to do. And so I was like, I'm going to go fucking ruck. And then it was just coming down like a motherfucker. And I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to make a quick little video. And that just gave you, showed you that the community is out there. You just got to go search for it. So
Well, I mean, like you just hit it. I was gonna say more, but you just wrapped it up with everything. Like you have to put it out there, and I mean, we're gonna go back to the universe here. The universe is gonna bring you what you put out there. You put out negativity, it'll just bring you negativity.
Yeah.
You put out positive, it's gonna bring you positive. It's gonna test the fuck out of you on that positive notes. But when you continue to win,
Yeah.
all that matters.
No brainer.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that was it, bro. I just want to share that quick video. I think it was cool to people need to just, the challenge really is just go out and do something crazy. What people would consider crazy to you might be normal. Just the things that you think people aren't doing when you're doing it, just go out and do it. And that can be a late night walk after you came home and you just want to sit on the couch. Most people are sitting on the couch watching TV on their phones. Go take a night walk like you did.
The craziest people are the people that don't want to do it. The people that are doing it, I don't think that shit's fucking crazy.
But that's where you start.
Nah, I'm just saying.
To me, you start there because I remember, when I'd come home and people would be like, "Oh, like, what are you gonna do tonight?" I gotta go do, go work out tonight, or I gotta go, take my walk. Like, why do you worked out in the morning? Why would you do it again? You just don't get it. And it's normalized now. Once you, like I said, you create those, you're around the community that is just normal. That's just what it is. But when you're coming from the masses, from the people that's just, sit at home, you have dinner, you watch TV till you go to bed, then you watch TV in your bed, and then, all that's normalized in that community. When you start stepping outside of that, that's why they say is your friends or your circle start changing because you start adapting to those other things that were big. Oh yeah, I do that too. Oh, you do that too. Oh yeah, and then it's just normal.
Yeah.
People go to the gym every single day. You talk to somebody else. Oh, you go to or the when you would say the 4 a.m. Like what? But everybody that's at 4 a.m. be like, oh yeah, dude, cool man, good for you, bro. Boom. Nothing crazy. They're just like, oh yeah, keep killing it, because that's the circle. That's the standard. That's the expectation. There's nothing crazy about it.
The only thing I will say is you need to take your mental into consideration. For me, that 4 a.m. was fucking with me way too much. But no, I do agree. I do agree wholeheartedly that as a community, unless you're doing the actions, I mean, even now, I'll see people and I'm like 4 a.m. I'm like, man, that's early, but I remember those days.
Yeah.
I got you. You got this.
Yeah.
It's the 3 a.m., 2 a.m. Those people, I'm like, you're fucking insane. But you don't know their work schedule.
I was just saying, you
don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They might be the people that are going to bed at 6 to get up at 2.
Yeah.
But that's the sacrifice they make to work on themselves, to be selfless.
Exactly.
So they can love themselves.
Right.
So.
No, man, I love it. Well, thanks, man, for listening to that and adding your input. I think it was just a quick little topic we could hit on. And, yeah, guys, get around the right circles. Get around the right community. So, which is this one. This is part of it. So
Agreed.
Like, share, subscribe, and, hopefully you can inspire somebody by doing something crazy. We'll share it. We know if you post some fucking video of you hitting a workout or whatever it might be, to us, that's our circle. That's who people that are engaging with that are in our community, and we're going to share that stuff because that's our normalcy for us. And, we'll always respond and show you some love and support. So
absolutely. Thank you, guys. We appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, man.